Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the eCommerce podcast live stream of the podcast recording. I need to come up with a catchier title than that, don't I really? But we are just about to record this week's podcast, all about Instagram and some really cool things that you can now do on Instagram. We are going to get into all of that. Yes, we are. I just do this quick hello just to say, my name's Matt. If you've not been to the show before, not been to the live stream before, big warm welcome to you. If you are watching this live, feel free to join in the comments, say hi, share it out, do all of that good stuff, and just enjoy the conversation that I'm about to have about Instagram automation. I do know what I'm talking about, honest. That is all going to start right now. So just keep where you are, because we are going to record the podcast starting now.
Welcome to the eCommerce podcast with Matt Edmondson, a show that brings you regular interviews, tips, and tools for building your business online.
Well, hello and welcome to the eCommerce podcast with me, your host, Matt Edmondson. Great to be with you. Great that you're here. Now, whether you are just starting out in e-commerce, or if you're like me and you're a bit of an e-commerce dinosaur, been around for a while, my goal is simple. It's to help you grow your e-commerce and digital businesses. Oh yes, every week I get to talk to amazing people from the world of e-commerce and ask them all kinds of questions about what they know and how it's going to help us develop online ourselves. I try and have the conversation that you would have if you got to sit down with them and grab a coffee with them. Right? And just ask them those kind of questions to help you and to help me grow our businesses. Because like you, I am an e-commerce entrepreneur and I am super keen to find out what is happening. So we dig into their story, we learn the principles that can help us start, adapt and grow online. Oh yes. And so if you enjoy this episode, I would appreciate it if you're watching this online, if you give us a like, give us a share, and all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube or Facebook. But if audio is your thing, for most of you, audio is definitely your thing. If I look at the stats, a warm welcome to you on the audio podcast. Again, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts from and share it out. Help us spread the gospel of e-commerce. Oh yes, because you know what? This is worth talking about. Now, today we have a very special giveaway that you are not going to want to miss. And so if you like giveaways, if you like all that kind of stuff, make sure you stick around until the end, especially if you want to use Instagram for your own online shop or store. I'm going to explain more at the end of the show. Little teaser, just so you know. Now, today we are looking at how to use the new Instagram automation features to grow your e-commerce business. Oh yes, we are. This is going to be epic. Now, if you're a regular to the show, you may well remember that in season 5, we chatted with Farah Rosenzweig about how to use bots to grow your e-commerce business. It was a great show actually, and I really like Farah. Episode 57, if you've not heard it, definitely worth a listen. Check it out. So a few weeks ago, Farah gets in touch with me and says, Matt, listen, you really need to talk to Mike, who is the CEO of ManyChat, about what's been happening on Instagram and how it's basically gonna rock your world. So I thought I definitely should talk to Mike then, because Farah, I should definitely listen to Farah, and Farah said talk to Mike. So we did just that. And in today's show, I am joined by Mike. We're gonna have a great conversation. As I said, he is the founder, the co-founder and CEO of ManyChat, and he's made it his goal to disrupt, oh yes, love that word, the $5 billion plus email marketing industry by bringing the convenience of messenger apps to business to customer communication. ManyChat has exploded into the market. It is now the #1 chat marketing platform used worldwide. We use it. I'm not going to lie, I am a fan. We are a customer of ManyChat, full disclosure. In fact, I'm one of almost 2 million businesses apparently in 190 different countries using ManyChat to drive sales, qualified leads, nurture customers, relationships, and so on and so forth. ManyChat, if you don't know, is available for Messenger, by Facebook, SMS, email, but Mike's not here to talk about that. As good as all that stuff is, and as impressive as all that is,
glad to help.
Even Siri wants in on the conversation. As impressive as all that, you can tell this is live because Siri joins in and I can't edit it out. Mike's here to talk to us about Instagram and how you can bring chat marketing and automation for Instagram for the first time, how we can maximize that for our own e-commerce businesses. So make sure you grab your notebooks. I have mine at the ready with my pen always. So all of the notes from today's show will of course be available as a free download on our website. Just head on over to ecommercepodcast.net/68. This is episode number 68, and you can download them free of charge, catch up with all the links and all that sort of stuff. But that's enough from me. That's enough preamble. So without further ado, let me hit this button on my pad and let's welcome Mike to the show. Mike, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Hey, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem, man. It's good to have you. It's good to talk again. Now, we spoke, didn't we, the first time a few weeks ago, and we were running through the whole stuff to do with Instagram and some of the stuff that's been going on. And so I'm super excited and keen that you're here to talk to us about this. But before we get into all of that, let's learn a little bit about Mike. So you're the CEO and co-founder of ManyChat. How did that come about?
So we started back in 2015 when Telegram Messenger opened up their APIs. So some people already heard about Telegram. It's now a much bigger platform. But back in 2015, it was about like 65 million monthly active users. So compared to a giant like WhatsApp or Messenger, which had at that point 600 million, 900 million type of numbers in terms of monthly active users, it was a relatively much smaller messaging platform, but they were one of the first Western messaging apps to actually open up their APIs, their messaging APIs, and allow third-party developers like ManyChat to actually build things and tools for businesses to create better communication patterns with their customers and do things like chat marketing for lead generation, qualification, sales, service, and all the other use cases that you can do through chat. It all basically developed into messenger marketing. We've built the #1 messenger marketing platform in the whole world, sending billions of messages and as you've mentioned, serving a lot of customers in basically around the whole world. And now the thing that I'm most excited about right now is the fact that Instagram, for the first time in history, opened up their official, not black hat, not some workaround corner cutting stuff, their official messaging APIs. So now you can actually officially automate your DMs on Instagram. Yeah. And I think this is a huge deal. I think this is something that every business on Instagram that is serious about using Instagram for conversions, and otherwise, why would you be investing in like growing your following and increasing engagement? Do. And this is only going to be a matter of time when this is used by millions of businesses around the world. And right now, this has basically been out for just a week.
Yeah.
So, wait, for just a month, sorry. June 2nd, the last F8, that's when Facebook announced the opening of the APIs. And the really great news right now is that just yesterday, Instagram rolled out the phase 2 of this APIs, which allows everybody that has from 1,000 to 100,000 followers to use it today. Wow. It used to be the phase 1 was basically 10,000 to 100,000. Right. So it was like in that middle. But now everybody that has over 1,000 but less than 100,000 can use the platform. It's a limitation that's coming from Instagram, but I'm really glad to say, because this is basically half the price. This just happened yesterday, and we know from our stats that a lot of people, the majority of people, are actually below 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
So you guys can now actually connect.
Yeah. When we talked a few weeks ago, we actually walked through this, didn't we? And we used my Instagram account, which was fine because it had more than 10,000 followers. And so actually what you're saying now is, as long as your Instagram has got more than 1,000 followers, your Instagram account, you can actually take advantage of the automation tools, this stuff that we're going to get into in the show, which is great. Is it always, I mean, when we talked about this last time, you talked about phase 2, but is there like a phase 3 or phase 4 coming where this will become available to everybody on Instagram?
Yeah, it's basically the phase 3 is everybody, and it's going to happen probably in August or September.
Okay, so you're listening to this show. We're recording it in July, and so at the time of recording, as long as you've got 1,000 followers or more, you can take advantage of this. And just to reiterate,
but less than 100,000. Because there's a lot of people with over 100,000 who we cannot onboard, who are reaching out saying, like, can we do an exception? And the answer is the Instagram team is being very isn't really doing any exceptions right now. So really everybody who has,
I wonder why they capped it. Yeah. That's just really fascinating to me that they've decided to
I would say, I think that they want to just make sure that everything works before rolling out for the bigger accounts, which account for a lot of the engagement that is happening on the platform. Okay. But yeah, I think the main point is that it used to be that, like, people would be talking about DM automation for some time, right? And before June 2nd, before last month, everything that you could do in terms of DM automation would be against the policy, and you would be risking your account getting blocked or suspended or something bad happening to it. And that's why people have been asking us to integrate with Instagram DMs and automate and help them automate those since we started on Messenger. And we always wanted to do that, but there wasn't any official APIs, and we don't want to go and we don't want to risk people spend their years building up their accounts just for that account to get suspended because they're using something that is not approved by Facebook. So now that it is approved by Facebook and that it's 100% supported by them, finally we can open up the gates for every Instagram account that meets the follower criteria and actually allow them to use the DM automation. And there's so many use cases, and we can get into like why everybody should be excited about this, because I think a lot of people who are on the Messenger side, they already know the power of automating the conversational automation. A lot of people on Instagram who weren't really focused on Messenger will be learning about this. And I'm super excited because we already have 5 years of experience from building the platform on Messenger, and we know exactly which strategies work and what you could do with this, and how you can grow your number of emails, number of phone numbers, number of qualified leads, and how you can actually convert people to sales, decrease the volume and the number of the amount of support volume that you're getting by automating service questions. There's lots of things that you can do with this.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that. It's exciting. Now I knew ManyChat because of the integration with Facebook, and you could do a lot of cool stuff with like Messenger, Facebook bots. And I know that Facebook changed the rules over time, and they introduced this sort of 24-hour rule, didn't they? And I think the rule states basically you can only contact people using automation within 24 hours of them engaging with you some way. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Does that carry on over to Instagram?
Yes, it does. And this is one of the biggest questions that we get, like, will we be able to do broadcasting? Because a lot of people who were on Messenger and who were really successful with Messenger, the way they were successful is they would grow their Messenger list, and then they would do sequences and they would do broadcasts, and this is how they would keep the audience engaged and their contact list engaged. And when Facebook really started to tighten the rules and remove the broadcasting functionality, and only allows you to automate the conversations within 24 hours, a lot of people basically got discouraged. And there's, like, we see it in our numbers that there's still hundreds of thousands of people who are succeeding with this, but a lot of people were using it for that specific case of like broadcasting and sequencing and everything else. Now, there's two things. First of all, yes, the 24-hour rule does apply to Instagram as well. But before everybody like starts to say, "Oh, this is something that's the same as Facebook Messenger," I think there is a very important difference, and that is that Instagram provides you with the rule, like with the broadcasting already, and that is through the means of posts, stories, lives, and reels. Mm-hmm. Instagram's organic reach is 10 times higher than the organic reach of a Facebook page.
Oh wow!
If a Facebook page has followers, it's somewhere like the reach of your followers for a Facebook page for a post is going to be somewhere around 1 to 5%, depending on the content quality, the audience quality, everything else. The organic reach of Instagram for your followers, depending on the type of post, is it a story or is it a post or is it a reels, it's going to be anywhere between 10 and 50%, sometimes even higher, because of Explore and everything else, like the hashtags. There is the discovery mechanism there. So you get to organically reach on Instagram your audience already. You don't need broadcasting on Instagram because it's already solved through stories, posts, reels, and lives. The key thing that was missing is that, yes, you already have the audience, right? You have the attention.
Yeah.
You have the engagement through likes and comments, but how do you convert?
Yeah.
And this is where DMs came in. But up until this point, you had to manually respond to those DMs and service them. And this is basically, you got two options. Either you're a small account and you're doing it by yourself and things are falling through the cracks and people stay in requests, or they're getting replied 24 hours later when they're already cold. And in the new world, the leads do not get cold over a matter of weeks or days. Leads get cold over a matter of minutes and hours. Wow. So you really need to be there instantly to service your customers' needs, because they're going to get distracted by the next notification, by the next app, by the next thing, and they're not going to come back. And what DM automation allows you to do is it allows you to instantly respond to whatever people are asking you about. Yeah. And moreover, not only respond, but actually have a conversation with your folks and either qualify that lead or ask them their contact information and relay that back to your CRM, to your e-commerce website, help them with product recommendations, and actually close that sale. Yeah. So this is the power of the DM automation, is that it's instant, it's scalable, and super affordable. ManyChat starts like at $10 a month, which is nowhere near what you would pay for like virtual assistants who are going to be still not instant and going off script, et cetera, et cetera. So this is, I think, the key thing to the understanding is that on Instagram, you already have organic reach. You already have a way to broadcast, and that is to post just a feed post or to post a story, right? You already have a way to go after your audience. The key thing that was missing is the conversion engine, and Instagram DM automation is that conversion engine that creates personal one-on-one communication.
That's very, very helpful, and I'm making lots of notes here. You mentioned that depending on whether you use a reel, a story, or a post, you're going to get between 10 and 50% reach on Instagram. Out of those things, which is the most, which has the most organic reach at the moment? Is it a combination of those things, or is it like reels are really trendy at the moment? You know, you should be doing reels.
Every content type has its own purpose. I would say that stories, which probably get for different, again, these numbers are vastly different for smaller accounts and for bigger accounts, as you know, as the same with engagement numbers, right? Usually the bigger the account, the lower the percentage of engagement is going to be. But there are some really great outliers. People, for example, like Chris Do, right, who teaches about Instagram marketing, who has like over 500,000 followers and who still has an engagement rate of 3 to 4%, which is insane for an account of that size. So you can actually do those things. But if you're talking about specifically which one of them gets more exposure, I would say Reels is great right now because it's being supported by the algorithm, and it's like Facebook wants more people to create Reels, so they're paying with attention for those Reels, and they just launched the Reels ads, but not a lot of people are using them. So the attention that is in Reels, all of it goes to creators, and like not everybody's using it right now, right? Even though it's getting a lot of hype, still you can get a lot of traction there. You just have to really follow the format, and like, don't make Reels because you have to make Reels. Make Reels because you feel inspired by somebody else. I would always suggest, like, stay true to yourself. Don't try to copy someone else's path. Learn from it, but always make sure to make it yourself. Like, to make sure that you're authentic with your audience and with yourself. If you don't feel natural, like dancing to funny music and pointing fingers at certain text captions, etc., like, don't do it, right? Or like, unless you feel inspired and you know like there's something that you want to share there. But also, do not confuse going outside of your comfort zone, right? Because when you're doing something new, there's always going to be this hesitancy, right? So I think it's a balance, right? When you're looking inside, like, do you want to do this or not? But I would just experiment, right? When you're trying to learn something new, just experiment and see if it fits you and if you're getting the vibe. But yes, Reels are definitely getting the exposure and can help you get audiences that you've never, like, beyond your followers, beyond your current followers, because the whole Reels algorithm is not based on who you follow. The whole algorithm is based on what's engaging, right? So it's much more closer to that explore experience than to the subscription feed. Now, the posts in the feed, carousels are doing great right now. If you can post informational carousels and make them stand out in terms of design, in terms of branding, and in terms of, obviously, the substance, which is the number one thing, which is foundational to everything, then this is something that you can get traction with. And always, like, using the hashtags to get to the Explorer, to get into the right feeds. That's what can grow your account beyond your current following. Stories are much more around building a personal relationship with your existing followers and actually closing those sales. So I would use stories to not try to grow the account in terms of followers, but to close the ones that are actually following me already. And this is where things like keywords and doing DM automation in the keywords will actually make a lot of sense, because it's really easy to go from watching a story to messaging a person. So you could say something like, we're going into one of the typical examples of what you could do with Instagram DM automation, which is post a story saying, hey, we have a coupon for our Instagram followers. DM us the word coupon to get it, right? And as an e-commerce store, you could do it today, right? And what you would do when somebody DMs you the word coupon, the automation, you can do two things. First of all, you can just DM them the coupon, and that's it. Still, you're getting engagement and you're getting DMs, which is beneficial for the IG algorithm, because it sees that people are engaging with your stories and writing you, which increases your signal, I would say, ranking, right? Yeah. Basically, it makes you more, Instagram sees that your stories are engaging.
Yeah.
which will tell the algorithm to show your stories to more people or rank them higher than other people. So this is already giving you a better outcome. But you can go even further. You can say DM us the word coupon, but when somebody DMs you the word coupon, the automation can, for example, say, hey, what's your email for us to send you the coupon to, right? So now you're growing your email list through Instagram.
Yeah.
And you're doing it seamlessly through story mentions and using the native tools of the IGDM, and it's all automated. Once you set up that campaign, you don't need to do anything else. You don't need anybody answering those messages or making sure they're being followed up on or anything else. You just set it up, you post a story, ask people to send you the word coupon, people send you the word coupon, they leave their emails. You can zap those emails into your CRM, into Shopify, into Klaviyo, wherever you want. We have a direct integration with Klaviyo, so you can do that, and then you can send them the coupon. So it's as easy as that, and you basically are growing your email list on autopilot. You can even have that keyword in your bio and say like, hey, for all of our IG followers, we have a special coupon which is only available through Instagram. DM of the word coupon and like do a pointing finger to the messages button. So now everybody who visits your profile is potentially is now seeing that message, and some of them are going to take action. And even without doing anything else, you're now getting more from your Instagram efforts. So this is like one of the most basic campaigns that you could do. There's so much more that you can do with this, but
and
you can see now the power of the automation.
You can, and you know what? It gets your juices flowing, doesn't it, Mike? When you start to think about actually some of your brain starts to just go, oh, hang on a minute, I've got all kinds of ideas here. Now, one of the things that we did, I did this morning, it took me about 20 minutes, was I set up one of these automations on ManyChat. Now, I'll be totally straight with everybody listening to the show. I did not have a clue what I was doing when I started. Okay, now I know we've used ManyChat in the past. That doesn't mean I've used it. And so it took me 20 minutes to set up this automation. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that because we've tied it in with today's giveaway. And I want you to see how this thing works. And so you get it. And what was happening, Mike, was as I was creating this automation, which I have to say is very straightforward on your system. And you know, you guys have done a good job on the UI for that. Well done. And as I was creating this automation, I'm thinking, oh, I could do this, I could do that. And I started to create all these branches, and I thought, I haven't got the time right now. So I deleted some of these branches and thinking, no, let's make it real simple for now, and I can expand on it later, because you do get your juices flowing. That's for sure.
Yeah, that would be one of the suggestions. Like people, when they figure out how easy it is to like build the flow builder and build the different conversations, they get so excited that they start to build really elaborate conversations. And I would just say, focus on the outcome. First, start with something simple with a linear flow. Ask for the email, ask for the phone number, do something really simple. Follow up with your product recommendations in an hour, because you do get the 24-hour window. So people think like, oh, it's only 24 hours. And I say, it's freaking 24 hours. You can message people in an hour. You can message people in 6 hours. You can message people on the next day in 23 hours. And you're still within the 20, like, get your landing page, message people with 80% open rate on the next day after they visited it. This is like, this is the thing about the IGDM automation, is that
it's clever.
I wouldn't suggest that you like just message your folks like every hour, because you can. Like, you got to make sure that you're staying on brand and you're being respectful, and that like the golden rule of marketing, like message somebody and chat with somebody the way that you would want to be messaged yourself, right? Market to others as though you would want to be marketed to, right? So one follow-up that requires engagement from the customers, I think, is totally acceptable. Like if you start to send 20 messages every hour because you can, I think that's completely not acceptable, and you're going to ruin your brand, and people are going to start like block you and unsubscribe from you. So, but if you use this power, because it's immense power, like the ability to grab somebody's attention these days is one of the most important abilities of a business. It's so hard to stand out. It's so hard to have that moments of interaction with your customers, and you have to pay for every click. So IG automation allows you to have those moments automatically in a channel that's completely new and not saturated. I tell you, in 2 years, millions of businesses are going to be using this because it's such a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And right now, since it's only been a month, nobody's using this.
Yeah,
Like when I say nobody, I mean thousands of businesses already using this because we see our numbers. But compared to 50 million businesses who are using Instagram, that's zero. So right now, if you're going to be adopting this year is the best year to start, and today is the best day to start because you're going to be getting the best results because nobody's is doing this right now. If you start doing this a year later, or like when this is going to be a less of a new feature, et cetera, you're just going to get average results. You're going to be in the majority of people who are waiting, like who don't want to like invest in something new, et cetera. I think there is a lot of people who are talking about, oh, this new thing, that new thing, etc. Like, I get it. People are skeptical about all of the new things coming around, etc. But IG is not new. Instagram has been around for years, and it's the most important social platform right now. And I can tell you why it's the most important social platform. It's because it's going to be the highest grossing, the highest revenue social platform in just a few years, bigger than Facebook.
Yeah.
And I can tell you like where those numbers are coming from.
Yeah.
But exactly, it's growing 50% year over year in terms of ad revenue. And it's going to surpass Facebook itself in just 2023. So Instagram is the most important platform right now. And DM automation is the way to convert people. So it's not some hacky new thing that's going to be hyped up and then like going to fade away in half a year. So we've been doing this for over 6 years.
Yeah.
Messenger marketing, Telegram, and Instagram now is, I think, the biggest launch yet because it's the most important platform. And everybody who is taking Instagram seriously should be paying attention and should be implementing IGDM automation. I'm not saying this because like we're just like on the road show promoting Instagram DM. Like this is something that I've come to. This is why we're investing all of our company resources in terms of marketing and product into this, because like we like the number of people who are working this. ManyChat is a 150-person company right now. And we're adding more and more people, and the majority of those people are working on Instagram right now because we believe that this is the most important channel. And you should be like, just go to ManyChat. We have a free plan. Moreover, we don't only have a free plan. We're doing a thing called Instagram Summer right now. So basically, if you register before the end of the summer, so before August 31st, you can activate a free trial, which will give you 3 months of pro features for free.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to use all of the pro features without having to pay anything, and you can test it out and see for yourself. Like, we're making zero on this. If you don't like it, you can cancel the subscription and you're going to be charged zero, right?
Yeah.
So test it out. It's completely risk-free because I'm sure you're going to like it. And you're going to be like, it's the same thing that happened to Messenger a while ago. At first, people like don't understand what's happening, and then everybody's talking about it. So when you want to jump on to be the first to get the cream of the crop, the best results before everybody else jumps on this. And we just know that this year is going to be the year when the best results are achieved because all of those strategies are going to be completely novel. And are not going to be replicated by millions of businesses who are going to do this probably in 2 years when this is going to be just a massive, when we're going to see massive adoption from the majority.
Yeah.
Because innovators and early adopters come first and get the best results.
Yeah, it's interesting. I remember, as you're talking, I'm remembering the story of how I first got involved with ManyChat. There was a guy who was selling a course, right? And his course was on like bot marketing, and it just started to take off or something like that. And he said, listen, I'm just going to show you how this works. I just want you to find me on Facebook and message me this word. And I messaged him on Facebook, and I got this instant message back, and I thought, goodness me, I'm in a conversation with this guy, right? And so we're going back and forward, and he was asking me questions, and I was going yes and no, and giving him all kinds of information. It took me a little while to realize I was actually talking to a bot. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't the sharpest tool in the box. And I thought this was magical, and I gave him $50 of my money there and then to tell me exactly what he had done. And all he'd done was set up a ManyChat account, and he charged me $50 to tell me this. And hats off to the guy. He did it really, really well. And I kind of see what you're talking about here. Now that's come to Instagram, you can actually engage your Instagram followers in these conversations, and they feel like in some respects they're talking to you. Now I've watched your videos. So again, if you're new to ManyChat, on ManyChat's website in the support section is a course, a free course which you guys have done on how to use a system, which, let me tell you, was super helpful. And the lady on the Instagram videos, I don't know who she is, but she sounds really happy, right? And I thought, well done on the videos. And so I thought, well, this is great. This is great. And I'm watching the videos, and she's got all kinds of examples of how you can use it. One of the questions I wondered, and I don't know if this is possible, Mike, but can you integrate the system, say, with your CMS somehow? So, for example, a customer goes, I want to know where my order is, right? So can you integrate it with a system which goes, well, give me your order number, I'll go away and check, and I'll come back and tell you? Can it be that clever?
Yes. The answer is yes. You can do that. And we already have an integration with Shopify. I'm not sure if we support natively from out of the box things like tracking numbers and sending those back. We'll just have to double check with the product team. If we don't, make no mistake, it's going to happen this year, and we're just going to expand that configuration. But you can already do that through Zapier and through things like direct API access, and you can really mix and match any message with anything. So, for example, you can take any piece of data that somebody sends you over Instagram, save it, relay it to your own system, to your CRM, wherever you want, get data back, and send them a custom message based on that data. So
that's awesome. So really, you're starting to now talk about the sky's being the limits, aren't you, with what you can do with this automation? So
exactly,
it can be just something as simple as DM me the word coupon, to DM me your order number, and I'll give you an updated status on where that's at.
Exactly.
What about that's all direct message. One of the things that you can do with ManyChat, which I like, is like on a live stream, you could say to people, listen, write such and such in the comments, and then ManyChat will pick up on that and start to engage them in a conversation because they've written a word in the comments. Can you do that with Instagram yet, or are we just talking direct messages?
Right now, what you're talking about is what's called Comments Growth Tool. So right now, it's not available. And whoever, again, there are black hat companies who are using shady APIs to make that happen, which will put your account at risk. Mm-hmm. So the reason that you should trust me and not those guys is that we are an official Facebook business partner. We have a standing call with Facebook. We have a call every Thursday, and we talk to our partnerships manager about what's allowed, what's not allowed. We talk about the product roadmap, give feedback, and synchronize launches and everything else. So right now, Comments Growth Tool is not allowed on Instagram. As soon as it's going to be, make no mistake, ManyChat is going to be the first platform to enable that functionality for our customers because of how powerful it is. But yes, we'll have to just wait for that one.
Okay. Do they think it? Do you think it's coming, or do you just think it's going to be one of those wait and
Yes,
see type things?
I would say 80% confident that it's going to happen.
Okay. Okay. Because that again is when that happens, we'll have to get you back on the show because that's another game changer, isn't it? It's that the engagement through posts, as well as through direct
Yeah,
messaging.
but let me just tell you, Matt. Um, what you could do with the posts is what we're working on right now is automatically replying to the messages under the posts, which is already possible through the APIs. So we're double checking with the Instagram to make sure it's within the policies. But I'm hopeful that we will be able to, for example, if somebody messages you and writes a comment, that you can reply to them personally as a reply on the public post, right, in the comments itself, saying like, "Hey, thanks for the post. Message us this to get this," right, and you
Yeah.
can make sure that those get into their notifications and that they get that message.
Okay.
That's one of the
Cool.
things that is probably coming really really soon.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, I mean, like I say, if you're listening to this and you're starting to get some ideas of how automation can help you with direct messages, we've just literally scraped the tip of the iceberg here, and there's some great examples on the site, in the course, which you can sort of make happen there and deep dive into that. But Mike, you're the CEO of ManyChat. I mean, when we talked a few weeks ago, I'd never met anybody more excited about Instagram automation. It was just you even today, it's quite infectious. You're obviously really keen for this, which is great. But where do you see this going over, say, the next 6-12 months? What's your crystal ball say? I mean, obviously it's not an exact science, but what do you think is around the corner for those that sort of do get on board early?
Yeah, I think key thing right now is that there's already enough features to create such engaging and converting campaigns that every marketer's socks are going to be blown off. So I think the key thing right now is to invest 100% of your time in learning what you can do with this. So again, when I say 100% of your time, I mean like if you're really big on Instagram, this is a gold mine for your conversion rates.
Mm-hmm.
And you should look at our course, which is completely free. We're not making any money on the course. It's 13 lessons. It will tell you everything that you need to get started with. And the way you find the free course is that you just go to manychat.com. There's going to be resources button in the nav bar. So go to resources, and there's going to be a button that's called free course. Mm-hmm. Inside that free course, there's going to be a module that's dedicated only to Instagram. So manychat.com, resources, free course, find Instagram there. You're going to learn a lot from that course itself. It's completely free, and we've worked hard on making it super engaging. I think that you watched it, so you can testify to that.
Yeah, that was
probably
very good, very helpful.
And the next biggest thing that people should do is, if you're watching this live, I don't know when this is going to come out in the recording, but if you're watching this live right now on July 15th to 16th, we have IG Summit that is coming up. And it's the first in the world Instagram DM automation summit. It's the first in the world conference that is dedicated to this art. And we have speakers, the best speakers you can imagine, like people like the Marketing Harry, Chris Do, Nathan Chan, founder, Jasmine Star, and lots of practitioners, our agency partners who have been using Instagram DM automation for over 6 months since the beta came out back in October 2020, who are going to be sharing their strategies and tactical advice and step-by-step guides on how you can actually apply IG DM automation for your specific business, be it e-commerce, infopreneurship, local business, or professional services. And what you do here is you go to igsummit.com. That's IGSUMMIT.com, and you grab your ticket. And again, we believe in the long term. We're not making any money from this event. We're just trying to recover the costs, and that's being hard right now because of the how good the speakers are. But we believe in educating the community, because in the end, the more people succeed with IG DM automation, the more people will succeed with ManyChat, and we'll all succeed together. We believe in the win-win. scenario.
So just
So
remind me of the dates again, Mike, for the summit.
July 15th to 16th. So it's going to happen. Right now it's July 8th, so it's going to happen in a week
Yeah.
from our recording. And we're going to be happy. We're going to be. The ticket starts like, so you know, like what the price is. The price starts at $35 for the general admission, which gets you basically every session, and it's a 2-day event for $35. So, and for $45, we'll send you your own swag bag with like actual T-shirts and the things.
Oh wow!
And
I'm
the
signing
whole
up to that
and all
one.
of the recordings. Exactly. So guys, just make sure to take advantage of this. This is, and if you cannot make the lives, it's completely virtual, so you don't have to fly anywhere. It's a virtual event, and the recordings are going to be available. So igsummit.com. If you want to learn more from the best of people, like people who are doing IG automation right now, that's where you should go.
I have to be honest with you, Mike. When we talked last time, you told me about the summit. We had a look at the website and some of the speakers you had on there. I was like, I'm going. You know, some of our team, we're going to be there. We're going to be looking at this summit, and definitely the ones that we can't watch during the day because of time zones, we'll watch the recordings. That's for dang sure. So let me say, those who are listening, I'm really excited about this particular feature that you can now do with Instagram. And I think it is it's one of those tools which you can have, which can foster clear and engaging communication with your customers, with your Instagram followers, in a way that you've not been able to do before, unless you are literally just sat on it the whole time, right? Messaging people. And that never works for anybody. So, check it out. And make sure you check out the Instagram Summit. I'm going to be there. I'm really keen to hear what people have got to say, because we all know Instagram is such a powerful force for our e-commerce business. And this is such a great tool to help us go to the next level. And like Mike's been saying, this opportunity is going to be around, but the best time to get involved is right now, because it's going to be standard in 6 to 12 months time. Everybody will be doing it. Whereas now you can capitalize on it and grow. I'm really excited about growing my email list through this. This is one of the big things. I think, we can actually start to extract email lists, email addresses from users. I think that's really great.
The conversion rates from people sending the keyword to like giving out their email are insane. Anywhere from 50% to 80%, sometimes with the right offer, 90%, 95%.
Wow.
Just landing pages do not do that. Like, it's just insane.
I wish
because
they did.
the reason, the reason, and I think I have a theory why this is happening, because when you message somebody the word coupon or webinar or whatever, and somebody says, hey, sure, what's your email? You feel in a private setting, in a private one-on-one intimate setting, where it's not some flashy pop-up that is like looks spammy, etc. It's a conversation. Yes, it's automated, but it's a conversation which is one-on-one, and you feel much more safety doing that over Instagram, over a chat interface. And like, again, the conversion rates are just insane right now. So this is the best time to get in.
I think one of the
Why would you wait for a year to spend the same time learning the same things when everybody's going to be doing this to get worse results, when you can spend the same amount of learning this and get the best results?
There's two things that's come to my mind, Mike, when you asked that question. Number one was, if I do this now, I can be the one which creates the YouTube videos telling you how to do it and get all of those views. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
And the second thing is, we have some digital courses, right? And I don't really talk about these that much on the show, but we do have some digital courses. I think I'm tempted. I'm going to talk to the team about this. I'm tempted to do a trial where we do one course where there's the traditional landing page. I wonder what the results are going to be if actually I ditch the landing page and just say, listen, if you want to know more about this particular course, DM me, rather than going through the sales process on the page, engage them in a conversation. I'm really keen to try it out, because I just think it's going to be fascinating. I'll find a product we can do it with as well, and we can do some trials on this. So we'll see how that one goes. Yeah, that'd be great.
We would love to do a case study once we get the results, and I'm sure you're going to beat your landing page results. We would love to do a case study.
Yeah, no, that sounds fun. It sounds immense fun. Mike, listen, it's been great having you on the show. How do people connect with you? How do people reach out to you if they want to touch base?
DM me on Instagram.
I knew you were going to say that. You had to say that, really. DM Mike on Instagram. So how do they find you on Instagram?
I have so just search for Mike Yan. It's my name is on the screen right now. MikeYan. The full handle is the Mike Yan. So TheMikeYan. The reason it's not an ego thing. It's just like the Mike Yan was already taken, and Mike Yan with the dot was taken. Everything was taken, so I had to use the the thing. So yeah, follow me on Instagram for more news around IGDM automation, for more tips, and DM me if you have questions. I do have like the way that I use DM right now is not. I'm not overwhelmed by them because I'm only like my main job is not the one of like an influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers. I'm a CEO. I run a company. I'm a product guy. So this is where the majority of my time is spent. So I have 2,500 followers, which allows me to actually be very responsive. And I do have some automation set up because I'm also
because you're over the 1,000, right? So
I'm the one who is testing the product. So,
yeah.
So this is why, like, I believe in dog fooding, and I've already found immense value, even for an account with like myself with 2,500 followers in the automation piece. I've had a live just yesterday with close to 100 people from Latin America, like our agency partners and other folks, and basically during the live, I've set up 3 automations. I kid you not, 3 automations during the live because I wanted to share some things with the folks, and I couldn't do it through the chat. So one of the things that people got excited about the future WhatsApp integration that we're working on, and people said, I want to apply. And what I did is I set up a really simple flow in ManyChat right on the call, asking like 5 questions. What's your business name? How many employees? How do you plan to use WhatsApp automation? What's your email? What's your phone number? And out of I think it was about 85 people were in the room at that point, I got over 40 fill outs of that form on Instagram. Wow. And it's completely exportable, like it's a CSV. So I basically used IGDM automation as a really simple way, as opposed to like a Google form or something. And I got more followers and I got more engagement, and now I have a connection with those people. Can your Google form do that?
Maybe that should be the title of the podcast. Can your Google form do that? No, that's been brilliant. Listen, so if you want, obviously, follow Mike, go DM him and see what happens. And we'll put all the links to Mike in the show notes. But Mike, listen, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's been great to talk to you. Super excited about the possibilities. And I am I'm a fan of ManyChat. So well done for that. Really appreciate what you guys are doing. Thanks again.
Thank you, Matt. Excited to be here.
Appreciate it. So, wasn't Mike fantastic? Now, if you're as excited by this as I am, and you can start to see the possibilities, you are definitely going to want to connect with Mike. And as I said, we will link to Mike in the show notes. You can obviously find him on Instagram, the Mike Yang. Do that and see how you get on, and just connect with him and reach out to him. I'm sure it'd be super helpful. You can also go to manychat.com to find out more things about ManyChat, and IG Summit to find out more things about the summit. Yes, you can, but we'll put all of those links in the show notes. And the web address for that is ecommercepodcast.net/68, because this is episode number 68. Now, I mentioned we're going to be doing a bit of a giveaway at the start of the show, and we are. And like Mike, I thought we'd do this one a little bit differently. So all you've got to do is find me on Instagram and message me the word ManyChat. Just send me the word ManyChat in a message. Not only will you get to see some of these automation things happening, this is what I spent 20 minutes playing around with earlier on. Basically what's going to happen is I'm going to say, hi, what do you think to the show? You just let me know. And I'll then, the automation then sends you a few bits and bobs in terms of the giveaway. So let me tell you what the giveaway is. Now you know how to get it. Go to Instagram Messenger and just direct message me the word ManyChat. Even if you're just curious just to see how it all works, you're going to be intrigued, right? And what I will do, like I say, we will send you the link to sign up to the 90-day free trial with ManyChat. That's number one, because 90 days, that's a hell of a time, right? So you're going to definitely be able to test the crap out of this thing, let me tell you, and just enjoy it, right? Just enjoy it and play around on it. The other thing that we're going to do is we are going to give away some of the tickets to IG Summit. That's right. So if you fancy going to IG Summit, if you're listening to this in time, this is a very time sensitive thing because it is the 15th and 16th of July, which at the time of recording is next week. We have got some tickets to give away. Yes, we have. So all you've got to do is go to Messenger, DM me the word ManyChat, and we'll let you know how you can get hold of them. And yes, I do ask for your email address so we can send you the information, because why would I not? It's all about that kind of stuff, right? So check that out. Hope that makes sense. But if you want to go to the summit, and you want a chance of getting some free tickets, that's all you got to do. And trust me, even if you don't get the free tickets, you are going to want to go to the summit, right? It's going to be epic. It's going to be great. And because this is so new and so fresh, it's a good time to learn about it and pioneer, right? So have a go, see what happens, because I think you're going to enjoy it. So that basically is everything from us today. I hope you've enjoyed this show. Like I say, wherever you get the show from, if you're watching the video on YouTube or Facebook, or if you subscribe via, an audio system like Apple or Stitcher or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast from, make sure you subscribe. Would appreciate you guys leaving us a review, writing some comments and all that kind of good stuff, because we just enjoy making the show, and we hope you get as much out of it as I get out of it myself for my own business. So that's all from me. We'll be back again very, very soon with another episode of the e-commerce podcast. Bye for now.
You've been listening to the e-commerce podcast with Matt Edmondson. Join us next time for more interviews, tips, and tools for building your business online.